Good morning, boys and girls. This is LA Prepper with a blurry. There we go. That's a little bit better picture. Look how happy this scout looks. He's got his uniform, he's got his bag, he's got his book, he's got everything he needs to enjoy the outdoors. Doesn't he, though? So, today we're going to talk a little bit about a care package and from DB79, and we're going to talk a little bit about hatchets. So, and I'm gonna grab. Oh, I got my coffee. Got my coffee. Got my donuts. Ready to start the day. So, first, I would like to thank DB Bullfrog sincerely for. Get a little bit of better light in here. I'd like to thank DB Bullfrog for sending me a care package and for all the interaction and such that he does on my channel. He's been very active in trying to help me avoid being a unicorn prepper, or to un-unicorn myself rather, so I can be more of a survivalist and less of an armchair prepper. And I do appreciate it. I appreciate the other enormous care package that he sent me with. I did a video about that. Feel free to check it out if you haven't seen it already, just so you can see how awesome DB79 is for being such a thoughtful individual and for giving back to the community, because I think in the long run, you know, the stronger we make the community, the better off we're all going to be, right? You know, the more DB79 helps me be a better prepper, the more I can help other people be better preppers or survivalists, or just, you know, learn basic skills, right? You don't have to be a prepper to want to know how to sharpen an axe or a hatchet or a hand axe. So anyways, so I won't read the whole letter, but he's talking about chopping wood with a hatchet. I am not making a big enough V, which is correct. And he's right. I suppose I haven't, I had, years ago I had maybe an evening of training with the axe with the Boy Scouts, but I don't think we talked about how to cut a V when chopping a piece of wood in half. Anyways, talking about building strength, building some bicep strength. 25 times with a 15-pound weight. Yeah, that's kind of a good balance in reps and weight. I could probably go. I'm a little more a believer in the lower reps and higher weights. I actually curl my bike when I want to do curls. The bike weighs about 35 pounds, and curling with two hands is something like 17 and a half pounds each. So when I want to do curls at the house, that's what I use. I do have a gym at school, but I'm just not a super big fan of the gym. But I do believe that building strength is an important thing that preppers need to work on. That's why I do crazy stuff like trying to walk around Portland for 10 hours. Okay, so sharpen the hatchet. Read the book. I'm going to talk about the Boy Scout method. Now, the Uncle Al method, which, you know, makes a lot of sense. He's using a C-clamp, a 2x4 board, a file, and a stone. I have a C-clamp. I have 2x4 boards. I do have a file, I do have a stone. I don't really have any nicks or dull spots, so my biggest sort of challenge at the moment is what kind of profile I want, what kind of angle I want, and what I want the final edge to look like. Do I want a little bevel on the final edge? Do I want it to be sharp? At any rate. Okay, so that's the first part of this, so let me talk just a little bit about the hatchet, and then I'll go into the second part of this. Now, the Boy Scout sharpening, let's just take a quick look at this real quick. That's too many quicks. The official Scout hand axe has a 1 1/4 pound head set on a springy hickory handle. Well, I have a 1 1/4 pound head set on a somewhat springy fiberglass handle. Okay. Keep the edge sharp enough. Oh my gosh, it just is not going to give me good focus here. Let me see if I can. I know I need a tripod. I'm working on it. I have some raw materials for a tripod. I just need to manufacture a few pieces related to that. So let's see. What does it say here? And forgive me, I'll try not to make this all sideways and crooked, right? Keep the edge or bit sharp Not just sharp enough for it to chew, but sharp enough to bite. Okay, so according to the Boy Scouts, keep your hatchet sharp enough to bite. All right. I love this part. The official Scout axe is treated in such a way that the head will not come loose. Ah! Look, the head coming loose is just... majority is just a function of just wear and tear. Wood expands and contracts, and eventually the little wedges that you put in to fix the head, excuse me, they just come loose. So anyways, I thought that was really funny. Now they're talking a little bit about how to chop. Make sure you have something under what you're chopping. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about their sharpening guide. They show the hand axe. So they show a couple methods. Sharpening against a log with a file. That's pretty cool. They have sort of a rough estimate on what they're looking at for an angle. Not really being too descriptive on that. Sharpening against a peg. And then we have the circular strokes for honing, or to really kind of polish the blade. Now, so they're saying, keep your axe sharp, hone it regularly with a sharpening stone, touch up the edge. They're going into some specifics here. They're going into a few more specifics, but they're not really... They're talking a little bit about how to use a file and how to use a stone, but unfortunately they're not really talking about what to do with the actual blade, what kind of blade you want. As far as chopping wood, they are talking about the V. So they do include the V shape. Now, if you do a quick online search into what you should do with your hatchet blade, you're going to come across a lot of things like this. Okay, so this is kind of the dodo thing. You know, you have too thin, you have correct, and then you have too thick. Now, there are a lot of different grind angles. If you just Google like axe sharpening angle, you kind of get some interesting results about the angle of the bevel. Of course, there's a lot of different types of hatchets. For example, what's this thing say? This says, oh, no, it's gonna, I don't want to go to your web page. I just want to look at the picture. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if we look at this picture, for example, we have, you know, like paring knives, kind of kitchen stuff down near the bottom, camping and pocket knives somewhere around 10 degrees, and then cleavers and chopping knives around there. Now, that's not really talking about axes very much. Here you have a slightly more detailed view. So you kind of have the main relief angle. You have the relief, which is the very tip of the blade. Then you have this sort of grind here, which could be either a convex or a concave grind. Here's kind of another example of that, where you have the main angle and then the angle right at the tip. Now, that's not to say that you have to sharpen an axe or that you necessarily should sharpen an axe like that, but I'm just kind of showing, oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, I like that. So this guy has a belt sander. It almost looks like an axe sharpening device, but it's called a modified belt sander. Maybe he just made this custom, but anyway, so he's got a little gauge here, and this gives him, you know, a very fixed angle. So anyways, I'm curious, you know, DB or anyone else watching this, what you think an appropriate shape for the hatchet blade is. If you think I should try to do a double bevel or just a single bevel. If you think I should try to give the relief a different treatment than the rest of the blade. You know, I don't know very much about sharpening axes or hatchets. I don't have any problem admitting that. I certainly haven't spent a large amount of time of my life chopping wood, although I guess that's evident by the YouTube videos. I probably have more time with a chainsaw than with a hatchet, to be honest. Just my own personal experience. So at any rate, that's a little bit about hatchet stuff. We'll be learning together as I get a little better with my hatchet sharpening skills. The second part of the care package, the care letter, I can say, from DB Bullfrog was a really cool emergency kind of list for that Hudson's Bay Company had put together for their aircraft crew. You know, if you're flying all over the middle of nowhere, you want to have a good kit with you because if the plane goes down, you're not having a good day. So here's the kit. I wonder, I could probably bug DB Bullfrog to shoot me this document in like a text file or a PDF, and then I can maybe post it onto my website or something. I don't use my website a lot. I've kind of just made it the other day. I haven't really developed it a lot, but things like this, Hudson Bay emergency kit, I think this is a really cool piece of information, and certainly not just something that, a couple select preppers should have. I'd love to share this with the community. I'd kind of prefer not to type the whole thing up again, although I'm capable of typing. I just don't think it's a good use of time. So DB Bullfrog, if you're watching this, if you want to shoot me an email with this in a PDF or a text file, that'd be awesome, so I can share it with the community. Thank you very much, DB, for sending this over. I really do appreciate it. And taking kind of a cursory look through this, my current bug out bag has everything except tea bags, vitamins, bread, butter, jam, Spam, condensed milk. I don't have any of this food. I have matches, I have a knife, I have a spoon, I have a whistle, I have a mirror, I have fishing line, fish hooks. I think I have like one candle. I guess I could throw a couple candles in there. I have some TP, don't have any Kleenex. I have a couple chopsticks laying around. I don't think I have one in the bag at the moment. So definitely my food needs a little bit of work. I know a few people on my channel have given their input on some good food that keeps for a while. I will never eat Spam. I can't eat it. I'd rather eat a can of chicken. It's so gross to me. If I was starving, I'm sure I would, but I have no desire to buy Spam, personally. I can't. Maybe I haven't had the right type of Spam, or I haven't cooked it the right way, but the last time I had it, I don't even know. It was a long time ago. Maybe I could do a Spam review, right? I'm sure that would get a few views, but at any rate, thank you again, DB. I am going to be doing more work on getting the hatchet sharpened. I don't know if I'm going to try to chop that log in half with a hatchet again. That thing was just painful, but definitely looking forward to using my hatchet in the future. Going to head up to Los Padres National Park one of these days because I can actually make a campfire there. Although I do have to check the fire rating locally at Angeles and see if that's changed. But Angeles seems to be less interested in people making campfires in the forest, unfortunately. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you again, DB Bullfrog 79, and keep prepping.